So you want to make a fog in Blender. I'm going to show you a way that I just couldn't find anywhere else. It's a way of making fog in Blender without actually using volumetrics. Because usually what they do is you just create a volume scatter node, slap it on the material output and call it a day. Not today. Today we're gonna actually fake fog in Blender with cards. This is a more optimized way and actually it's pretty good. So let's do it. Okay, so first off what we're going to do is we're going to delete everything, pressing A and delete. Now we're going to add a plane and we're going to create our fog card, our first fog card. Let me make it a little bit more wide, just like that, and create a material called fog 1 texture. Okay, now we're gonna split this. Oops, we're going to split this into the shader editor, and here we are going to add a noise texture and then a ramp texture, just like that. And we're gonna plug the factor into the factor and the color into the base color of this plane. And we're gonna go into the material preview and we're gonna have this. If we dial it in, the ramp texture, we're gonna actually see what's going on. Noise texture is doing its thing. Now, instead of 3D, we're gonna put in 4D so that this factor right here, is this W factor, is available. When we change this, it's actually very fast, but when we change this, it makes this kind of thing that is kind of moving in space. That's an effect that we want. So let's do this. We're going to select the noise texture and then we're gonna Control T it. If this doesn't show up for you, what you need to do is you need to go to preferences and enable this node wrangler right here, and it's gonna work just fine. And then we are going to animate this noise texture. How we're gonna do that? We're gonna go to location. We're gonna add a single keyframe. We're gonna open the timeline, the graph editor. Sorry, we're gonna go to the graph editor. We're gonna go here on the actual keyframe. We're gonna add a generator. Now this is too fast. We don't want this that fast, so we're gonna actually put it on like 0.03. Yeah, okay, that's good. Maybe let me correct this. This is the correct way. Let me make this like let me make this like that, up, like that. All right. Now we're gonna actually dial a bit more this appearance of fog right here. Maybe the distortion, just a little bit. The scale, maybe 0.6. I don't know. Maybe change here. And on the W right here, we're gonna add a keyframe as well. And we're gonna do the same thing that we did on the mapping. We're gonna go here and add a generator with 0.1, probably. No, that's too much. 0.001. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add this color ramp into the alpha of this principled. So it's a kind of a transparent. The black parts is gonna be transparent and the white parts are gonna be visible. Now, what we want is we want to go to the material so it just doesn't look like this dithered feeling. We're gonna go here and change it to blended. Now this looks much better. Now we don't want this harsh lines right here. You can see this harsh lines right here. We don't want that. So what we're gonna do is gonna add a gradient texture and another ramp. We're gonna connect this vector here, and I'm gonna select this color ramp and Control Shift click to preview what's happening right here. We're gonna select the gradient texture. We're gonna go to Control T, and instead of generate it, we're gonna change it to UV, and instead of linear, we're gonna use spherical, like this. Tab into the edit mode, go to UV editor, and we're gonna change this until it is on the center. Just like that. Beautiful. Now we're gonna go to the shader editor. Now we're going to do a little math. We're gonna add a math node, connect this ramp on the bottom and this ramp on the top, and this one on the bottom. We're gonna select multiply right here, and we're gonna connect this value to the alpha right here. Now we have this fading out effect, and it's actually really cool. And just like that, we created a fog card that is actually rendering very fast right here. But we can make this even better. What we're gonna do now is put this aside and we're gonna add a plane like this. We're gonna make it skinny boy and put it right here, just like that. We're gonna make the particles this way, going outwards, like that. Now, we're gonna add a particle system, just like that. We're gonna change the force field settings. No, sorry. We're gonna change the field weights, gravity to 0. So it just goes out like that. We're gonna change the lifetime to 250 and the number to 10. Maybe 15. Let's try 15. Now we're gonna go here on render and we're gonna change this halo to object and we're gonna pick that fog texture right there. We're gonna pick this. Now the fog is actually not on the correct orientation. We just need to check this object rotation right here and correct this plane rotation to that. And there you go. We can actually see this, but now we can. Now we're going to make it bigger so we can actually see what's going on. And you get the idea, right? What we're doing here, we're doing basically a wall of fog going this way. And it's actually, it is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. To make this better, what we're going to do is we're going to create a texture that controls the size of this texture over time, right? So to do that, we're going to go right here on the particle system. And this is a hidden feature in Blender, but it's really cool. We're going to go to texture right here and create a new texture. Go into that texture, select blend. Let me go back to the material preview. We're gonna go into influence, and instead of general time, we're gonna uncheck that. We're gonna go to size right here. This will be controlled. We change this to strain particles. This will be controlled by a color ramp, because color ramp is the final boss of Blender. If you play, you're gonna see it kind of working already, but we want to make it like it begins in this size and then it grows and then it gets smaller again, right? So let's do this. We go back here, right here on the ramp. We're going to make this one on the middle. We're gonna go on the corner right here and control click and turn it to black. That way, when it goes to the other side, the fog actually disappears just as it disappears. It just goes smaller, bigger, and then smaller again. Okay, that's basically the effect. Of course, you need to tweak this fog so it looks kind of more acceptable, kind of more like a atmospheric fog. But we can actually just go back to the card right here and just tweak a setting like this. Maybe. Let me see. Size, scale, something like that. And it's much better. So this is a way of making fog using cards, just like in games kind of do this like this as well. It's actually pretty good, and it's more, it's more procedural and convincing than just a plane with this scrolling texture. It's pretty cool. So I made this simple scene just to show what you can accomplish using this same effect. This is a simple scene, and we have the same exact setup here, the fogs with the particle system. Everything is the same, and we can even kind of preview it. It's a little slow on the material mode, but we can kind of preview it, and it's moving, and it's cool, and it's everything fun about Blender. This is just a plane with the same material of the fog, and there are also the particle systems right here being spawned just the way we thought about. Right here there's another one. This is not meant to like replace the volume shader by any means. I think that if you can actually combine the volumes, the fog with particles texture thing, and the mist pass, you're gonna have a really clean result. Really impressive. All right, leave a comment if you have any suggestions to do the next one, and that's it.